Hey guys, Coach Keith Kepner here. I'm going to go through a training or just mid session that I did with this one guy, Harrison. He fought his first fight. It was like a fraternity fight event, but he really boxed very nicely, really showed his skill and his proper preparation. And we're going to go through this because it's an opportunity to know what I'm looking for when I hold mitts for somebody, and also what I look for somebody that might be around your level. Maybe you're at the position where you've just had your first fight, or maybe you've only had a few fights, or maybe been around boxing for a very long time. Makes you think about things a little bit different, or remind you and bring you back to those times when you were first getting going. And sometimes you can get big revelations that way. All right, so let's get into it. Oh, and by the way, before we fully get into the video, guys, if you're just a boxing fan and you like to watch just like cool boxing tricks and random gimmicks and crap like that, and you're a boxing fanboy, then turn this off, go somewhere else. This is not for you. This is for people that are serious about boxing training, whether you're a fighter, serious hobbyist, coach, or just someone that's really passionate, truly passionate about the sport, and not just like, yeah, I like cool stuff, man. And I watched this video where they talk about the cool move this guy did, and da da da, da and blah 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 blah. So if you're one of those people, move along. Starting off first on the mitts, I'm focusing on telling him to be loose. Yeah, everyone tends to lean forward a little bit as they jab, which can be problematic because it does a couple things. It opens you up for uppercuts, puts your head in the mix, which you don't need to do. The analogy I use is like in the game of chess, where's the most important pieces? They're in the back, so don't put them out in the front. And then also, when you're starting off, it's easy to be very tight. Obviously, Harrison's a newer boxer, so we're still working on foundations. Don't be wrong. You should have seen this guy when he started, all right? Because I mean, again, like I said, he boxed very well. There's always things and opportunities. There's so many opportunities for people to improve. But as a coach and as a boxer, you have to decide with your coach, perhaps. But what are the few things that you're going to work on and work on improving? Because you can work on everything, but when you work on everything, you work on nothing. But anyway, focusing on also squeezing right at the end of the punch. It's easy to start off and be tight and kind of push. You want to get that nice snap. So not falling forward and snapping. And I'm gauging that with the mitts. Focus on being relaxed. One thing I notice watching from the outside, I do watch the eyes with the mid holding, but you notice he looks down after he throws, trying to readjust himself, which is not the best habit. He keeps his eyes up after a while. Yeah, telling them to hold the hand up a little bit higher, the right hand, to compensate for the drop. Because it's fine to hold it here, but if you have a habit of bow and arrowing it and dropping it, well, hold it a little bit higher, and now if it does drop, it ends up here. By going to the extreme measure of a move and making a slightly more extreme adjustment can oftentimes be that little extra which fixes it. Not smacking the crap out of him, but just touching him to make sure he's being smart with the backhand. So oftentimes mid-holders will try to really whack somebody and prove a point. But again, you want to foster as best you can relaxation with your athlete, and particularly someone newer like this. If I start really trying to smack the hell out of him with the mitt, yeah, you could argue it's gonna get him to maybe calm down. But what I notice most of the time happens is they start overreacting, and then they have to work on fixing that. Versus let's just get in the right place and let's do it nice and relaxed. And then once I feel you start to get it, then I'll turn it up on you. But we're gonna build on that foundation of confidence and relaxation, not building panic mode. You see his eyes blinking. I said, don't blink is what I said. Squaring up on the block opens him up for the 2. I want to try to keep his shoulders sided up. Thinking about defense off the jab. Small movements. Yes.
It's either roll or block, not both.
And see, I love it when boxers can identify things themselves, right? That's where it's the job of the teacher and the job of the student to be able to really learn the information and know it, and not just have people tell you like you're a robot or like you're an idiot. But yeah, so there, see, I'm making sure, giving him a reason not to get super square on the hook, to get ready for the 3-2. And see, I don't do it every time, so he's got to be prepared. See, he's overreacting a little bit, but again, he's a newer boxer. We're building the foundation. It takes time. And again, you should have seen where the kid started. What I like about being able to learn this, see, he mixed in some head movement, great. But being able to learn being in the pocket, jab and blocking, is then it does allow you to get more counters off. Don't get me wrong, stepping out after a jab is great, but let's also learn how to block, and counter off, jab, block, be first and be third. Yeah. See that? Good control. So he mixing a little step out. So again, I'm not telling him to do that. He's mixing that in just because it's part of what, he feels, and that's great. If it works, it works. And if I think it's a good strategy or good move to mix in, that's great. I want to help these guys, everyone, build a base, but then find their own base. But I'm there as the guider, right, to make sure it's just not like some unreasonable crap. Now see, sometimes, after the 3 don't step out, sometimes spin with it, right? So just don't be available afterwards. Now see how we mixed in there. We shot the jab, we stood there and blocked. Now we're moving our feet a little bit. When he stepped off to the left side, he's dropping his left hand a lot. See that? I want to make him be aware of the possible counter that can come. Now granted, he can get out of range or roll with it like that, but let's build up a proper foundation where we don't have to be perfect with our range and have that little extra insurance. See, that time he was out of range. Good for him. But I do want him to get used to using that left hand. Yep, and popping it back up, not fading away like that. Beautiful. See it right there. Chin is down. Yep. Jab catch. 2-3. Yep. And then he exits out. Beautiful. One thing, let's see, I'm encouraging him to start when he wants to go. I'm not making him have to start, because this combo sequence is based off of not him countering me. It's him starting. He shoots a jab, but then the guy counters him, and he comes back, and he gets some, and he gets out of there. Yep. Yes, I want to make sure it brings that left back so he doesn't get hit by some lunging right hand. Yeah, step down just like that and keep yourself in position. Stay low. There he popped it up, and he got out of range. I used that left jab or left mitt to gauge the range on him and make sure that he gets out far enough. But that becomes important, is oftentimes someone will shoot that counter jab and step out. We want to make sure we get in there. So there he shot a combo off. stepping under, making an angle. So we're going under a shot possibly, but someone doesn't even have to throw a shot to do that. Sometimes I'll throw the shot with a mitt so we get the feel for it, but sometimes I won't, because that's one thing as well. A boxer doesn't need to be trained to only do defensive moves or certain moves because a punch came. You can bob down or angle under like that without a punch that came at you, or having. As a mid holder, I'll put it out there to gauge the range to make sure the depth is correct and everything else. But also oftentimes I'll just be like, hey, just do the angle without me throwing. Go under like that. Weave under, slip, even without me throwing. So people get used to not only reacting because there was a punch that came, because it still works to change position, to even work as a feint, and moving the head if something did come, even if it doesn't. Yep, focusing on being loose, keeping his left hand up as he goes down so he doesn't drop his head to a body shot. There is one of the greatest things. So here, he shoots the uppercut, and off the uppercut, you see that? I just pop him with the mitt. I didn't slap the hell out of him. I used to have a big problem with that back about 10 plus years ago, but I just touch him. Just touch him, just to give him that feel, to let them know they were wrong, right? If someone isn't listening, maybe, right? But if you don't need to slap the living hell out of people. I'm not in this to slap the living hell out of people. I don't think it's funny. You boom, boom, and you just need to let them know. Give them that kinesthetic feel that, hey, that hand dropped. Do that. Uppercut, left hook, and after that uppercut comes up, have it come back to position as the left hook comes. So it's here, here, as opposed to here. Everyone will go back to dropping it down typically. And timing that, it takes some timing ability as a coach or mitt holder to do it. But touching with that left hook, very good move that I utilize a lot. See that? And see there, he corrected it perfectly. And there was an example of he was starting with his uppercut, and I wanted to make sure the left hand didn't drop. The lead hand didn't drop. So many people, they'll get going, and they'll drop the lead hand to shoot the uppercut. Or they'll shoot the uppercut and drop the lead hand in anticipation of throwing the lead hook. As you can tell, if you look really closely, a lot of his hooks loop a little bit. Don't get me wrong, we fixed it a lot. It's gotten way better than what it was, but it's still a thing. And so I will do things like that. Give them a quick touch while they're throwing, so they got to make sure they stay focused.
There we go. Yeah.
But again, I'm not doing it in a fashion that's going to now create someone all jittery and neurotic and overreacting. I'm doing it just enough, with just enough force to just keep them focused and engaged, and to have everything in more optimal positions. Yes, I don't want him stuffing his jab. Getting too close with that jab makes you too open for the right hand specifically, as well as other punches. Yep. Focusing on that relaxation. He was such a stiff guy. You know, he's still a little stiff, but he's way stiffer. So it's a process of learning how to relax. Finding a way to anchor that, emphasize that, remind that.
What's up, Mason? What's up?
I like the jab, the 1-3 on the one mitt, oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes, because then that gives the exact feeling of a head, right? You got the boom and then the side of the head. You got the front of the head, the side of the head. And it gives them that great accuracy. Give him some easy shots afterwards. Helping him think about utilizing his rear hand for defense. Yep, catching an uppercut. Reaching down a little deep and far for it. Yep, elbows popped. There you go, that's better. And see, again, this is what I like about that, is being able to trust your hands and utilize your hands allows you to do what? Get in there, someone fires back, you block it, and then right there, he could retaliate back with combinations. And oftentimes I'll do that with mid holding, is have them just shadow box what they want to do afterwards. Harrison, granted, he's newer and he's a little uncontrolled, so sometimes when I've had him do that, he just ends up punching me. I didn't really feel like getting punched this day, so that's why you don't see it here. He's a good student, though. Yeah, see that? So he made the drop, and that's where that verbal reinforcement of not only someone feeling what is right, but also just understanding what is right, getting told what's right is important. You know, it's just like think about when you're a kid or when you're doing something new. It's like, is that right? Is that right? To get that immediate reinforcement. So here, he did the hook. I shot down for where the body shot would be approximately, and the hand's there for it. Again, I'm not slapping the hell out of him. And you notice how that's allowing him to stay relaxed, but also make the proper adjustments. Now, granted, sometimes once, like I said, once someone gets it down and gets it down for a while, then we'll increase intensity. Great with the chin down. That's where if the chin was popping up, you'd be hearing that reminder all the time. Yep, you see he's kind of high, losing his leverage. So now he's walking forward, blocking, countering back on the inside, smothering down. Oftentimes with boxers, they won't get comfortable with you in the pocket, and that's where this can be useful, to be able to get in there, smother down, and counter with shots, just like that. Yeah, reinforcing looseness all the time. Like you see here, he could be turning his hips better, could be doing a lot of things better. But again, you have to make those calls, again, as a coach and as a fighter. Because you know, he's got a fight coming up. What am I going to do? Spend all the time breaking that down, breaking this down. Where at the end of the day, is he putting somebody behind the punches? Yes. Is he being relaxed and is he snapping the punches? Yes. Is he keeping his chin down? Yes. Is his hands in decent position? Yes. There's a lot of yeses there. And that's the reason why he got the win in a very dominant fashion. Because you need to be aware of the level you're working with as a coach. You see there too, I want to see that left hook being quote unquote tight, which doesn't mean tense, but it means not wide. So I want to see it go, look at that, it just came right across. See it again here. Boom, hit with the knuckles, chin is down, wasn't super wide. That's what we want to see. There it is. Yep. Yep, people cock it back, get the hook inside of it. Again, you could definitely get more hip rotation. What I'm focused on is making sure everything is relatively compact. Because granted, you know, I've done the opposite, right? Focus all of the hip rotation, all this, you know, maximum rotation for maximum power, which is important to learn how to do. But then the hands are getting super wide, right? I much more lean on, hey, how can we get the connection with the knuckles right? How can we get the punches not super wide to leave us super open? And then from that trickles down, getting more rotation, things like that. Nice catching. Slipping. good to give people different feels, but then also sometimes make them feel just a tad bit uncomfortable to see how they'll react. I was able to elucidate one fighter I started working with over the past 6 months that had a lot of experience, that they got hit by counter right hands after their jab by doing a drill like this. I had them hit the mitt. I would make them miss the mitt and counter with a punch, and they would put themselves in a spot where I'm like, you get hit by right hands, don't you? And they're like, yep, I do. Look at that, nice jab catch. Again, I want to see him underreact as much as possible while still reacting defensively, while still being smart, while still not getting hit, and while still not getting controlled. See, seeing how someone reacts when they miss. See, not always being there for him, helping him find his range. Don't just forcefully give people range. There's an example of him losing his vision. And again, I want to be clear, because I'm using Harrison as an example here, man. Great kid, great student, got a great win in his fight 3 days after this or whenever this was, and recently. So, I mean, nothing but good things to say about him, man. Tough, in shape, trains hard, and is progressing wonderfully. So there's the jab. And then the jab goes. I make him miss it. And see, because the miss happened, his body felt, oh crap, I missed. That's going to happen in a fight too. That can happen in a fight. Will happen. And in sparring. And so therefore, he closed the eyes, didn't see what was happening. We got to maintain our vision. And that's why we end up in this oh crap position. I want him to miss and stay composed. See what's happening. So see, I tested him again. See that? So it wasn't, because again, my point of the coach is not to make you look like a dumbass. My point is to do what? To reveal. To reveal what you do well, to reveal the opportunities to progress. Once I revealed the opportunity to progress, which was this here, made you aware of it by letting you feel that uncomfortable, out of control feeling. Now, keep your vision. That's the cue. Let's see if we can do it on this next one. I give him one more because I'm not going to give it to him right away. Right? He kept composure. He missed it, gave him the same scenario. Yep. And he kept composure. Yep. Giving him an opportunity to improve it. Because that's the thing about what's beautiful about mitt work is in sparring, you can't be like, hey, do that one more time. Right? So you can't be like, hey, you caught me with that counter. Do that counter one more time. But in the mitts, you have a great opportunity to do that type of stuff. Yeah, like once people make that angle over there, to keep going. Don't step back in the center, right? Unless you have them on the ropes, let's say, right? And you want to keep them on the ropes. Here, so once you're there, keep going to the right side. Go around their back. If they did shoot a left hook, then they're a little bit turned, and let's step around them. Literally try to get their back. That's the cue I give most people, most of the time. Yep. No, it's good. He stepped out on that one. Great. One thing is noticed as well, where, because again, I'm not trying to act like I'm perfect or something like that, but notice where I am holding the mitt right now. I'll do that oftentimes. Where am I holding that mitt? Right in front of my freaking jaw. I'm not holding it on my jaw for you guys to want to do this, because I don't want to get just hitting the jaw just randomly. Sorry. But it's there, and I'm going to resist it, just like I would with a catch. See that? So I give him the cue of just about where he needs to aim. The more you can make it like the real thing, the more beneficial it's going to be as far as punch accuracy, everything. Yep, I'm using my left to help him understand the range. So he knows he needs to be outside of that. See, I'm putting that left out there because I don't want him to get in range before he jabs. I want to have him be right outside of the range, step in with the jab to get the range. Yeah, see, there I tested him, right? So there, I was there. I gave him the range. He thought he knew the range. But then what I do? I stepped out a little bit. Now there's the range. He lost the range. Now he tries to overcome a lot to try to get it. So again, this is where the benefit of the nuances, helping the guys understand what is in, what is out. Do I need to take a step forward to get into the outskirts of the range before I launch my attack? To pay attention to that. It's all developing the eyes and developing, you could say the ring IQ. Right there, he adjusted it better. And notice too, as a mid holder, I'm helping him get the use of being a little bit aggressive. Now, there's some times too where me as a mid holder, I'll come at somebody and they got to box and move around. But I'm a big believer in helping your boxer learn how to be dominant, right? Learn how to take control, learn how to take the center of the ring, learn how to dictate the pacing of the fight. And the easiest way to do that, the most basic way to do that, is to be a little bit more aggressive in a controlled fashion and to have the other guy be on their retreat and you have to come at them a little bit, right? That's the simplest way to dominate. A little bit harder way to dominate is with lateral movement, things like that. It can be less clear as well to judges and things like that. But incorporate both, but I do try to help them feed and feed that feeling of, hey, like, you be the boss. You be in control. You be the controlled aggressor, effective aggressor. Yeah, so I noticed, I'm watching the feet. The right foot swung over a little bit. People tend to do that when they're getting ready. See that? Right foot shot over to his left side, getting ready to swing over with that step. Right foot on the right side. Telling him to keep the right foot on the right side. There, he did a little better. And see, again, where I'm holding that mitt, I'm trying to help him understand exactly the distance with my right hand. See where my right hand is? Right by my face. So he gets the range understanding, and the mitt isn't out here, right? And of course, I bet, most of the time you're not going to have that unless someone's really bad at mitts. But the more you can get all of that lined up to it's basically a head. Because think about the best you could become as a boxer is if you literally had a human being, like a robot, that you could just punch on, right? And you could punch as hard as you want, whenever you want, and they would move like a boxer. But we don't have that technology now. And this is where the mitts is a great way to do that if you utilize them relatively correctly. That wraps up that, and then I had him do a whole bunch of drills. I might go through the video of that, him doing drills with another guy that fought his first fight, and the little nuances I look for. Comment below if you enjoyed this, guys. Again, it's not some thing. This is meant for the real people that are passionate about the technique of boxing. And if you're one of those people as well and you haven't done it already, buy my newer book that's out there. That's 66 Strategies to Outthink and Outfight Your Opponent. I got the audio chapters I'm loading up now, but also buy the book because read through it, underline, has note section, take notes on it. And then if you want to work with me, hop on the Patreon page. There's options there. I have a whole combination system and framework that I'm going to put on there and release. And I'm building out. It's a big, extensive thing, and I'm going to put it out coming here sometime soon. So be on the lookout for that as well. Also working on book number 2, which is going to be a whole lot more visual demonstrations than the current book, which is all words and linguistics to demonstrate concepts. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed. And if you want me to help you level up your gym or your coaching and turn your passion into a profession, message me or DM me on Instagram and see if we can work together. All right, guys, watch out for the next video. See you there.